In this video, we will show you how to assemble and set up your Greenworks Optimow. We have featured an Optimow 50H. However, this guide can be followed for all units fitting this description. Your Optimow may look different than the model used to film this video. All information provided still applies. This video is not a substitute for reading the operator manual. For more detailed instructions and safety warnings, consult the operator manual provided. Let's get started. Tools required. You will require a mallet, pliers, 8mm hex key, wire cutters, and a tape measure to set up this Optimow. Step 1. Planning, layout, and preparation. Before unpacking, ensure the property meets the following criteria. The operating area has no ditches, grooves, and steep slopes greater than 35%. The grass is shorter than 4 inches. There are no stones, loose pieces of wood, wire, live, and other foreign objects. Once the area is clear, you can move on to step 2. Unpacking. We recommend moving the box with a second person to prevent accidental injury or damage to the product. Cut the tape and open the box. On top, you will find the quick start guide and the safety key. Set them aside for later. Remove the green box and boundary wire. Carefully lift the Optimow out of the box and set it down. Remove the charging station and set it to the side. Your Optimow comes with the following materials: safety key, cardboard ruler, 600 feet of boundary wire, 400 lawn staples, power supply cable, low voltage cable, charging station screws, splice and guide wire connectors, loop wire connectors, labels. Inspect the unit and its parts to confirm that all items are accounted for and no damage has occurred. Keep the box and packing material until you have operated the product. Take a few minutes to read the operator manual and understand the installation process before proceeding. This information can also be found on the Greenworks Green Guide app. Download the app and create an account. Once you've set up your Greenworks account, you can log in. Add your Optimow by pressing the big square with a plus sign on the app's home screen. Tap on Robotic Mower and select your Optimow model. Click Next to start the installation process and follow the step-by-step guide. Please be aware that 4G connectivity is required to connect the Optimow to the app. Step 3. Placing the charging station. Choose a flat shaded area on or near your lawn with access to a power outlet. For the Optimow to maneuver and dock properly, the charging station must be positioned in an area that has a minimum of 10 feet of free space in front of it and 3 feet of free space on both sides. Step 4. Connecting the power supply. Remove the charging station cover by pulling the side tabs off the hooks and lifting it off. Connect the low voltage cable to the charging station. Secure the low voltage cable behind the tabs in the charging station. Run the low voltage cable from the charging station to the power supply. Plug the power supply into a 100 to 120 volt wall outlet and connect the low voltage cable. The LED on your charging station will start flashing blue. It will keep flashing until the boundary wires are connected. Step 5. Initial charging. Please note the Optimow cannot be used until the setup process has been completed. Flip the mower over and insert the safety key into the underside of the mower. Turn it to the enable position. Next, place the mower on the base station and connect the opening at the front of the Optimow to the charge port. Slide and press the start button down to activate the unit. When the mower is charging, the blue light on the docking station will turn green. On the unit, you should see a flashing blue symbol and a solid green checkmark symbol. If you see a red caution symbol, this means an error has been detected. Consult your manual for troubleshooting steps.
Step 6.
Installing the boundary wire. The Optimow uses random or sensor-based navigation. The boundary wire determines the area in which the mower operates. When the mower comes near the boundary wire, it gets a signal from it, turns and continues mowing inside the operating area. Optional guide wire. The guide wire works differently from the boundary wire. It is optional to use a guide wire, but recommended for properties with narrow or hard-to-reach areas. It is important to assess your property and determine whether or not a guide wire is needed before laying the boundary wire, as you'll need to leave extra boundary wire to connect it properly. The green wire provided can be used for both the boundary wire and the guide wire. A guide wire has 3 purposes: to guide the mower to hard-to-reach areas within the operating area, to guide the mower back to the charging station, and to optimize mowing. Properties with remote areas or narrow passages, less than 10 feet wide, require a guide wire to reduce search times and ensure the Optimow can reach them. An example of when a guide wire may be needed is the narrow patch of grass connecting the front and back lawns of a property. The guide wire ensures the area can be reached and the unit can easily find its way back to the charging station. You can install up to 2 guide wires. If you determine your property requires a guide wire, plan for where it should be positioned in the operating area and where the guide wire should be connected to your boundary wire. At the location where the wires should be connected, leave 20 centimeters of extra boundary wire. Once you've assessed your property and have a wire layout in mind, you can begin installing the boundary wire. To start, secure the wire near the base of the charging station by tying it to a peg. Be sure to leave enough wire at the beginning to reach the station later. Lay the wire in a counterclockwise direction along the planned boundary of the operating area. When installing the boundary wire around the perimeter of your property, there are several scenarios to consider. How far you place the boundary wire from an obstacle will vary based on what the obstacle is. The type of obstacle determines how much clearance is required. The boundary wire must be set at the appropriate distance for each obstacle scenario for the Optimow to function properly and not get stuck. Follow the instructions in the guide provided. Do not lay the wire at sharp angles or the mower will have difficulty following it. Run the wire on the surface of your lawn, securing it with pegs every few feet. This allows you to easily make adjustments to the area during the first few weeks of use. Once you're happy with the Optimow's performance, the wire can be buried for a clean look. If additional length is needed, use the splice connectors provided to connect the second roll of wire. Insert the working end of the boundary wire and the beginning of the new boundary wire into the splice connector. Use pliers and squeeze the connector until both ends are secure. Secure the wire with pegs on either side of the connection. Continue laying the wire until you reach the charging station. Step 7. Optional guide wire installation. Once the boundary wire has been laid, you can run the guide wire. If your property does not require a guide wire, you may skip this step. Make a knot and peg it to the ground, leaving some extra wire for the connection. Run the guide wire under the charging station in the designated track. And extend it at least 2 meters in front of the base. Continue laying the guide wire until you reach the predetermined connection point. Avoid sharp angles and keep it at least 12 inches away from the boundary wire. When you reach the location where the guide wire and boundary wire will be connected, cut the wires a few inches past the connection point. It's better to have too much than not enough. Insert all 3 wires into the splice connector. Use pliers to squeeze and lock the connection. Secure the wire with pegs on either side of the connection. Back at the charging station, place an end loop wire connector at the end of the guide wire. Press the wire connector together using pliers until you hear a click. Cut off any excess wire. Connect the guide wire to the contact pin on the charging station marked G1. Should you need a second guide wire, you can follow the exact same process and connect this wire to G2. Step 8. Connecting the boundary wire. Once the boundary wire has been properly laid out and secured, connect the ends to the charging station. Run the wires behind the tabs into the channel at the rear of the charging station. Cut the wire from the spool, being sure to leave enough length to reach the connection point. Install loop wire connectors on both ends of the boundary wire. Open the loop wire connector and place the wire in the loop wire connector grip. Close and press the wire connect together using the pliers until you hear a click. Trim any excess wire, leaving 0.4 to 1 inch above the connector. Connect the boundary wire to the charging station by pressing the loop wire connectors onto the metal pins on the charging station. Match the left wire to the left arrow, right wire to the right arrow. The LED indicator will go from a blinking blue to a solid green when the boundary wire is correctly installed. Once your boundary and guide wires are properly installed, you can reattach the cover. Step 9. Secure the charging station. Next, secure the charging base to the ground. Fasten the charging station with the 5 supplied screws using a 6mm hex key. Roll the mower onto the charger and connect the opening at the front of the Optimow to the charge port and allow it to finish charging if necessary. Slide and press the start button down to activate the unit. Step 10. Charging station LED. Solid green means power supply voltage is available and the boundary wire is connected properly. No light means no power supply output voltage. A flashing blue light indicates the boundary wire is broken or not properly connected. A flashing red light means there's an electronic fault. For all other issues, please refer back to the owner's manual. Step 11. Pairing to the app. 4G connectivity is required to connect the Optimow to the application. To begin, click on Pair, first time, and scan the QR code found in your Quick Start guide. Alternatively, you can enter the serial number and pairing code manually to continue. Turn the safety key on the mower to the Enable/On position. If the key is already in the on position, turn it off and back on again. Return the mower to the charging station. When the connection light on the mower turns from flashing blue to a steady blue, press the Next button on the app. You now have 5 minutes to pair the mower with the app. Next, create a PIN for your mower. Once your PIN is saved, the mower will complete the pairing process automatically. Congratulations! You've successfully installed and connected your Greenworks Optimow. We recommend leaving your Optimow on the charging station and allowing it to fully charge before using it for the first time. For next steps including operation and general maintenance, please watch the Optimow Operator's Guide video. Properly maintained, your Greenworks tools will provide you with years of great service. If you have any difficulties or need replacement parts, contact us at greenworkstools.com.
For more how-to videos and information about our latest products, visit the Greenworks Tools YouTube channel.